video is presenting.
Hi there. We've got a pretty big group here tonight. I'm not sure how many actually came, so I brought all the awards just in case. About 50 some years ago in the 1970s, the National German Teachers Association decided that they were going to give a test that tests the abilities of students across the country so that they can see how they're doing against other students in other parts of the country and other schools and other circumstances. And we've been doing this as long as I can remember. Before I was even here, my predecessor did this. And we've had very good success with this over the years, but this has been a very amazing year. This group of students that's coming through Logan High right now in the German program, they, out of almost 12,000 students that took the test nationwide and 70 students who took it here in Logan, in Utah, 8 of the top 10 scores were from Logan High students, and 16 of the top 20 scores were from Logan High students. So it gives me such great pleasure to introduce these students to you and have them come up and receive their awards. So if you are one of the students that took the German test and is here in the group, please come on up to the front of the room and we'll call you out. I don't see any of our honorable mention students, so I'm going to just skip that one. Oh, there she is. Anna, come on up. Okay. Yours is right first. Thank you. So, Anna Neff. Okay, then we had 3 bronze medals this year. And I'm looking to see Randall. Randall Davey, come on up. Bronze medal, put that on. And Emily Zena. Put that on. Okay, we had 7 silver medals this year. Make sure I got the right bag. The first one goes to Tasmia Ava. Put it on. Go ahead. Are the Greenwalls here today? I don't see any of them. Lucy Hess. Adam's not here. Chloe Sims. Sorry, there you go. And Brooke Stoner. Thank you. Okay, this last group, I'm going to give them to you by how they placed within the state of Utah. The first gold medalist, I'm going to give this one to Hannah Bultis. And the second one goes to Matt Steed. Hannah and Matt both tied for 9th in the state of Utah. The next one is going to go to Briley McMurray. And Genesee Gomez. Genesee and Briley both tied for 8th place in the state of Utah. The next one is going to go to Ty Ray. Sorry. Ty placed 7th in the state of Utah. Next up, we have Carter, who's not here. Actually, I think we're out of students. It's up for Emma, so I'm just going to give one to Emma here. Emma missed one question on the entire test and got the highest award in the state of Utah. So yeah, give it up. They've worked really hard for this. Sorry, was that? Could you explain how they're tested? Sure. It used to be done with CDs, and before that cassette tapes, and before that reel-to-reels. But for the last probably 10 years or so, it's been all on computer. There are 100 questions based on literary texts and reading texts. There are 50 that are listening comprehension and 50 reading comprehension questions. And they're just, they take that and they get a raw score, and then they take percentiles off of that before they give the awards. So yeah, 100 questions. Thank you.
Can I just ask that we give Mudro a round of applause? Holy cow, Mudro, that's amazing.
I was going to wait until we had finished all the celebrations before saying this, but people keep trickling out, and I want you all to hear this. I think I can speak on all of our behalf. We are so impressed by what our students are doing here. It is truly amazing what they are accomplishing. And we also want to thank all the families and the faculty and staff for all the support that you give them, because it takes support to get them through some of these hard times, but not hard times, challenging things to help them reach their peak of success. They're not peaking though, are they? They're gonna go on to do amazing things, and we can't wait to see them. But thank you all. You are so impressive. It is so amazing to say that you belong to our school district. Okay, let's hear more from, we are looking at the Regional and State Visual Arts Contest winners presented by the photography teacher, Roger Rigby.
And Mr. Jeff Ashcroft. And Mr. Nev Pilotu is supposed to be here, but he's watching soccer and probably forgot the time. We start off with the Logan High Art Contest, and the winner in the photography division was Destiny Ortiz. Give Destiny a round of applause. These works are hung up in the back hallway, but I'll leave them here for today, and I'll come back and get them in the morning and put them back where they usually go. But Destiny got first place in the photography. Then we went to the Northern Utah High School Art Show, which is for all the high schools north of Salt Lake City. And Haley Briel, who's not here tonight, got honorable mention in the 2D design. For this one, we don't have to clap for her. She's not here. She wouldn't hear it anyways. She wanted to clap. She's been here. And then we go on to the State High School Art Show, and Tyson Bust, his photo of the blue car there, got accepted into the State High School Art Exhibit, which includes all schools in the state, not just the 3A category, but all of them. So that's a pretty big honor just to be accepted into that show. And then I'm going to let Mr. Ashcroft talk about the painting students.
Yeah, so really excited about the work that these students are doing. And we've got TJ Parkinson's work that was up here that was accepted into the Northern Show. Again, that's half of Utah. And they have a really small space, so they don't have a lot of opportunities to display pieces, so the pieces that get in are really fantastic. We've also got Reed Brummer, who's not here but might be on his way. But he won the Jurors Award for his piece down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And these are students, they put in, how it goes with athletics, and same with art, where they put in time day after day, week after week, year after year to get to this point. So we're super proud of the work that they get to get here, but they've made, countless incredible pieces before all of this. So proud of it. And then we've got, you want to jump to the state? Okay, so then at the state, we have Audrey Hatch that is here. And here's Audrey Hatch's piece that was purchased by the State Board of Education. And her piece is actually here back at the school, but a photo of it is printed and hanging up at the Board of Education's office. And so, Audrey, are you able to come up here real quick? Okay, yep, you can just stand right here. And then also Brooke Stoner. Brooke. And Brooke won an award, but it's so long I don't even want to say it. It's just a materials award. We'll call it that. Is that all right? So Brooke's piece is up here. Both of them have done incredible work. Still lifes, portraiture, landscape. They work, they come in homeroom almost every day, every other day. They come in whenever they get free time, and they just paint, draw, and do incredible work. So anyways, they're just a few. We have so many students who are doing such incredible work here, but we're super proud of the work that they're doing. And so thanks a lot. Anything?
We should mention also the sculptures. Cade Stearns and Ethan Wright both got accepted to the State High School Show as well. And Cade got the Jurors Award of Merit. I think his sold as well, so we won't be seeing his back. It's in some rich guy's house. So, anyways, it was Ethan's that sold. It was Ethan's, sorry, my bad. Ethan's sold, and Cade's is floating around here somewhere. I can't.
It was alabaster. Alabaster and soapstone. So Ethan's was soapstone and Cade's was alabaster.
So if you know them, give them a hug and tell them good job, and tell them they should have been here to hear us clap for them. Right. Anyways, thank you. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You're American. You got freedom. Come on, Destiny.
Just the two of you.
Do you want them to move front and center, Shannon?
And I apologize, we don't have any awards to give them, certificates or anything like that. What we'll give them is just bigger canvases for next time.
Amazing work. Okay, we will hear next from Principal James Mather with a report on Logan High, and you are welcome to stay for that as well. Celebrations continue, I think. James has got lots of good stuff to share with us.
Yeah, lots of Logan High tonight. It's been fun. So we're actually going to start off with our community council leaders. That's kind of where we're going first. So Melissa and Carly, if you guys want to come up, we're going to let them kind of talk about our community council, how that's gone, and then we'll go into some of our other celebrations. So.
Short girl. She's really short, you guys. Thank you.
You bet.
I know. Hi. So
Principal Mather just asked us yesterday to give a little bit of information on community council and what we do. So I just give you a little bit of history on community council. It's at every school in the state of Utah, elementary, middle school, and high schools. When Utah became a state in 1896, lands were set aside into a trust. Those lands are called the trust lands, and any profit that is made off of those lands are given to schools, put into the public education system within the state of Utah. And this money has grown, obviously, since 1896, and it's been amazing to see, even in the last, well, I've been on community council here at Logan High since 2017, and it's grown over $150,000 in the amount that we're allocated every year just here at Logan High. But anyway, I'm not going off my notes. It made more sense in my notes. But let's see. The council at every school is made up of parents, teachers, and administrators at the school. And together, each year, we create an SIP, a school improvement plan. And this plan includes ways to use the trust fund funding that we received that will benefit the maximum number of students and their academic needs. Trust funds produce approximately $111.3 million to be used throughout the Utah's public schools. And and I told you just since my involvement how that has increased. I think right now they're even just going off of the interest that they're earning, which is amazing. And it's a pretty cool system that the state of Utah set up when we were created. And Carly's now gonna take some time and tell what we have used our funds for.
So here at Logan High, we have seen quite a few successes, I would say, this past year, but also, I don't know, we're lifers, 5, 6, 7 years that we've been here. But just to talk about this year mostly is each year when we come up with our SIP, we have to come up with a goal. And we've kind of kept it pretty much the same with a few changes of what we want our goal to be. So we focused on graduation rate. Our goal is to get every student ready for the future, right? So by doing that, we're hoping that they will be able to say they graduated high school so they can make their next step as they take their path after being a Grizzly. So in the last 5 years, we have gone from in the high 80s to 92.3, I believe is what we clocked in last year. So we are seeing huge improvements in graduation rate, which is a huge celebration at Logan. And I dare say something that should be hugely celebrated because we are the only school that doesn't send kids that are not meeting standards to a different school. So we have kids at every level here, and we work really hard to make sure every kid gets the education they need. So I think that was a huge celebration compared to our other schools in the Valley. This year, we are projected to hit 94%. This is so awesome. We're really hoping it happens because it would be really sad if those kids are this close and don't get it. But so that's our projection. Some of the things that we have funded this year is that we have helped to fund an instructional coach position, I think like 0.68 or something. And by funding that is giving our teachers some extra help in the classroom, which hopefully means kids are more engaged, more active in their learning, which will make them want to be in the classroom. So that has been one thing. And in return, we hope it keeps our teachers here because they feel supported and loved. We also fund After School Center and Super Saturdays. This is where kids can come and get extra help. We do the Saturdays so that if they're involved, that's an option for them. But they can come get extra help, do the things they need to. They also can make up attendance if they're struggling in that department. So it's a great place for kids to get the extra help they need. We have also this year, this is new to this year, have been funding one of our counselors, not completely funding it, but some of it, so that we can keep 5 counselors in the counseling office, which is a really big deal when we're talking graduation rate. So without them, I don't know that we could get to the rates that we're getting. So I really appreciate our counselors. And this year we've moved, not me, them. I'm just a community council member. We have Amy Anderson doing more focus on the kids that trying to push them to get to graduation, which has been, I think, contributing to our higher percentage of hope. We also funded a tech person this year, which was really needed. Apparently computers are hard for kids on their own. So we have a tech guy that helps them, and it's made things run a lot smoother. And then the two other ones is we have hall monitors that make sure they get their little bodies to class and spend time in the classroom instead of the parking lot and the halls. And then we also fund the parent liaison so that we can be more supportive to parents that need maybe a different language when they call in and need a little extra help in getting their kids here and the help that they need. I think that's a good chunk. We did do other things that we have funded, but that's a good chunk of what we funded.
We covered it. And really, I guess, in closing, we just want to say, we love community council. We've both been involved at elementary level. It's been probably over 15 years. So it's been a long time, but I really have a passion for it because it's a great way to be involved in the school, great way to get to know administrators and teachers in the school as well. And we love the teacher support and love hearing their ideas of what they think money should be spent on as well. And it's a great program.
Good way to meet parents too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of friends, so
Yes.
anyway, yeah. Good way to be involved at the schools.
Can I ask, do you get, so there are community council members that have voting rights and things like that. And then you have others attending the meeting. Do you get good turnout from outside of your community council members? Would it be helpful, do you think, to have more community paying attention to what's going on?
It is a good question. It could be. I feel like there's community members that want to be involved usually do reach out to like the chair or other people that are members, of community council and might ask a question. We kind of encourage our community council members that are voting members to also get information out to the community for subjects or areas, that we might need to just to help get the right information out there.
Especially celebrations, like we want the good news to flood.
Yeah, we do, because that's what gets people wanting to come to Logan High.
That's why we had so many here.
I know. Thought they'd want to hear about community council.
I thought they showed up for us.
I know. But so it can be hard for community members to attend when they're not a voting member all the time because, there is a spot at the end that they can bring up anything, but people just don't. I don't know why they don't. But
I can probably count like on two hands, maybe less of all of them I've sat through.
yeah.
People showing up. I sat on Logan Heights for a whole year without being a voting member. I just came, and it was scary because I just was sitting in that corner by myself, not being a voting member, but I just wanted to know how the school worked. I had a new freshman. I wanted to be involved. I had missed doing the elections, so I just came and sat. So my first year here at Logan High, I just attended as a community member and didn't have a voice. And that was totally fine. And it made me realize I wanted to be here.
And I think it would be important, though, Logan High has good attendance for our community council. There are, sometimes we have to have votes because so many people want to be a part of it. Then we have like Mount Logan where we don't have as many parents. And it would be wonderful to get more parents attending Mount Logan's community council and get more people involved there.
Where you are already a very involved human being and have been forever, to have you say that it was scary to you to come in and sit in on those meetings, do you think there's anything we could do to make it not scary for those that have not already been doing it for forever?
Oh, I just think that was just me. I don't think it was anyone there that was making me feel like it was scary. I think it was just, I was coming in as what I felt like was outside.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was never like implied that I shouldn't be there. It was never, I just felt a little out of place. But I think that's good to know that you don't have to be a member of community council to be there. We welcome all people to come and sit in and learn about the school. And then if you have public input, you're welcome to, at that point,
Maybe
add your
maybe it'd be better if we advertised it better, because it could be something that the week of the meeting, we send it home in the Sunday message, that gets sent to all the parents to remind them, because if you don't know about it, you don't know about it, you're not gonna come. But if people knew that it was happening, maybe they would come more.
And that they could come even if they're not on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's just like PTA.
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm. All that information. Okay.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate your commitment.
Thank you so much.
Gotta go back up. So sometimes you can turn it off and on, but come back on the second screen. Technical difficulties. It works. It works. Usually it's that TV that turns off, so I don't know what's going on today. There you go. Okay. So yes, Superintendent Schofield had asked me to come up with maybe some of the less prominent ones, some of the celebrations that we have. Obviously we have so many things going on at the high school that is fantastic. Huge shout out to all of our people that were here, Melissa and Carly. Carly's still here, but they do a great job. Our community council meetings are very friendly, very open. We have a great support system. So yeah, we'll definitely start spreading the word and inviting people. We'll take anybody that wants to come and talk to us. So, okay, so a couple highlights from me. So first of all, FCCLA, they went to their state contest recently. We had 11 finalists, which is first, second, and third place. 2 of them were third place, so 9 of those 11 all qualified for the national contest. And we have a state officer, Peyton Wilson ran and won state officer for the state of Utah, so she's one of our officers and gets to represent Utah at the national FCCLA stuff. So that was pretty exciting. That was a really big accomplishment. If you want to go downstairs sometime and check out, they've got all their things on the wall. It's really cool looking. So that was a lot of fun. Family Consumer Science, this was kind of that's the continued page. We'll have to go back to the first page in a minute. No, that's all right. Let's just, okay. So this is something actually just these last 2 days we've been interviewing to replace some of our CTE teachers. One of them today was for the Family Consumer Science. We actually had to add a position this year. Students are enrolling in Family Consumer Science classes in numbers we've not seen before. So we're adding a teacher. It's a fantastic problem to have. They're doing a great job. The enrollment for next year is basically doubled from this year. Like it is shooting up like crazy. I know one of them, Jensen Jacobson, I got to give her a shout out. I know her program's growing like crazy, as are the others, right? They're all growing a ton. So that was kind of a huge celebration for us. Aggie Up, if you guys are aware of our Aggie Up program, it started off with just 25 students. We're currently at 60 students, and we're projecting 75 students to be in that program. So it is thriving. We're seeing a lot of kids getting prepared for college. It's great. LHS Speech and Debate, I put this one on here. This one's pretty well known. Our speech and debate team does a fantastic job year to year, but this year they took second at state. They were runner-ups. We had 5 event champions. We thought we were going to win. It was close. The team that beat us, actually, we beat them at regionals. So they were region champs this year as well. So lots of really cool stuff with speech and debate. They're phenomenal. They're really, really good. So this one, actually, I asked our counseling secretary and my secretary, I asked them about, what are some things I don't know about. Keys to Success is one that came up. Dana talked to me, and she's like, hey, do you know this one? I said, not at all. But we actually have 2 ambassadors. That's supposed to say LHS, not FLHS, sorry. Ken Nielsen and Elena Molina. They actually won a prize for our school for having the most students enrolled in this Keys to Success. There are scholarship opportunities through it. Anyway, Dana told me to make sure I mentioned that one. That was pretty cool. Esports, brand new this year. We took 3rd overall at state. We took 2nd place in the Smash Brothers competition and 2nd place in the Rocket League, and 3rd overall. So for first attempt, it was great. It was really good. Music and theater, a big shout out to all of our music. Rasmussen's over there, but all 3 orchestra, band, and choir qualified for the state contest. They all took ones at region, so that was really impressive. So we're excited to see what they can do at state. It'll be really fun to see. date is May, isn't it?
One is Saturday the 25th, the other one is the next 2 weeks, orchestra band, I think orchestra's
Yeah, end of April, beginning of May. Yeah.
28th, band's the first and second, and
Yeah,
after that too.
they're coming up, so we'll know really soon how we do. We're excited. Yeah, we're excited. The other one in the music groups, theater, obviously. Theaters, plays are fantastic. If you guys never have had a chance, go check them out. The next one is Bright Star, which I hear a lot of exciting things about. I just know the story briefly. I've never seen the play, so I'm excited to go watch that one. Finally, our EL students. So our school, Logan High School, actually received a certificate of excellence from the Utah State Board of Education for the number of EL students we have participating in college and career readiness courses. So that's something we're actually really excited about, is that they are preparing for college and the next step in their lives, and they're doing it at a high rate. So those are kind of some of the celebrations I came up with that were just not the standard ones, but kind of fun. We had some good ones in there. Any questions for me, I guess? Yeah.
When you were talking about FCCLA and that there were 9 that qualified for nationals, and that Peyton is going to nationals, are the other 9 not going to nationals, or is Peyton going in a different way because she's an officer? I don't know enough about FCCLA to understand the logic.
Yeah, so, no, I'm sorry. So out of the 11 finalists, 9 of them qualified. Peyton is one of those 9 as well. So she gets to go earlier than everybody else because they have conference stuff for her as a state leader. But so 9 out of the 11 finalists, so 9 out of the 11 got first and second. 2 of the kids got third place. And so one of them may get to go. The runners up do get to go if people ahead of them decide not to attend. So we may have 10, but at the count from the contest, we were at 9.
When does that happen for them, or what does that look like for them?
It's not until the summertime. It's June. So FCCLA, so career and technical student organizations, or the CTSOs, there are a lot of really big ones across the nation, and FCCLA is one of the last ones to do their contests. And the state of Utah, I think, is the last one in FCCLA to actually compete. So it's late. It's June, if I remember correctly. Early July. Thanks, Liz. I just remember it's in the summertime. It's after school's out. So, and it's at DC this year, right? Yeah, DC this year. So, okay.
James, I just had one question related to the community council's expressions and also to our land trust.
Yes.
You mentioned that we have 5 or 6 different times after school, before school, Saturdays, summer, where we have 4 to 6 teachers available. Is that difficult on our teachers to expect that many to show up consistently? Is there a rotation? Do we pay them a stipend? How does that work exactly?
Yeah, so anybody that volunteers to work, I say volunteer, it is an extra duty, extra pay. So they do get paid for their services during those hours. We don't have a hard time. So next year, it wasn't mentioned, but we actually are going to start an early morning center next year for our kids who are athletes and involved in other things. It's hard for them to come after school. So I sent out a survey to all of my teachers just saying, hey, is there interest? Can I get people? And I had 25 yeses. So basically a third of my teachers are willing to come and help out. So yeah, staffing it has not been a problem. We do tend to have pretty much the same teachers. They've got a good routine. They're trying to make sure that it is academically focused. And so kids are coming in and actually doing work and not just sitting around and trying to goof off on their computers, right? So yeah, but staffing it has not been a problem, and they do get paid for it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I got to give a shout out to my staff for being willing, right? Number one, I expected like 5, and I got 25, so that was exciting. And then my assistant principal, April Aston, she's the one that actually suggested it because, you know, she knows as well as any of us how hard it can be for those kids to get in sometimes after school. So, yeah, great idea, and staff supported it, so we're going to run with that next year. Yep. Okay. Absolutely.
Yes, you have an impressive school here with everyone involved and everything that they're doing. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Yep.
All All right. Oh, and you're just wrapping up your first year here. Congratulations. You're making it. All right. Rachel, do we have anyone signed up for public comment this evening? Nobody. All right. You guys can talk to us afterwards if you want. All right. We'll move on to the approval of the consent calendar. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we have a motion?
I will motion to approve them.
Motion made by Katie Chapman,
I'd second that motion.
seconded by Cole Checketts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, on to our action items. We are looking for the approval of the fiscal year 27 capital expenditures. We will have this presented by our business administrator, Jeff Barbin.
All right. I'm also going to have our facilities manager, Don Bell, present this as well. But every year, Don in February sends out the capital project request lists and that are made on the maintenance department. So major projects that our principals feel like need to be done in their schools. So he closes that on April 1st. So they have until, I think it's mid-February to April 1st to put in any requests that they feel like they need or want for capital. And then he meets with me. Once he collects all those, we go through and he assigns estimates to those. And then when they submit those, they put in a request or they rank the request based on a 4-point scale. So 1 is a life safety issue, so that's the most important. 2nd is it's badly needed. 3rd, it's nice but not essential. And 4 is it's a want but not a need. And so, you know, you'll see the rankings there. The LOC is for location, so whoever made the request at that location ranks those, and then Don goes through and ranks those as well. He and I sit down and create the spreadsheet, put that together, review all of that, and then we meet with Superintendent Schofield and Board Member Cole Checketts. That's the committee that reviews all of those and make the determination which ones to fund, which ones not to fund. And so you can see on that list there that there are, all of the ones in red are the ones that we are not funding. The ones in black are the ones that we are funding. And so this year, if you go down to the bottom, the total is just over $1 million, but that actually includes $100,000 for self-locking locks on all classroom doors. We have that marked as red because, but we are counting the total because we are spending the money, but that will be paid for through a safety grant. And so I guess you can determine whether or not we're going to go over $1 million or under $1 million, but typically most years we're around $1 million for our capital requests. And so as you look through those, if you have any questions or if there's some that you feel like that maybe we need to reconsider, that's the board's prerogative to review those. And so, I don't know, did you want to say anything, Don, or just field questions?
No, I think the only thing I would say is that when I rank them, I try to be as objective as I can. And I think you can see by scoring, usually we come up pretty close to what the requester has ranked them as. So I feel like we're pretty objective in that scoring system.
I did want to make a comment. When we look over this list, there's a lot of things that have been on prior year's list. An example of that is the steps for the bus loop to Memorial Bridge. That's something that's been on the radar for the last couple of years, and I think a lot of times we just hold off on certain things to wait, look over it, realize what it is, and get new eyes on it. And with the new principal coming in and discussing to Don and that, going, hey, this is a huge need there, that's when we're like, hey, this is something we need to do. So sometimes they'll put a project in, and it might take us, you know, depending on looking over it, analyzing it, and it might be a year or two out before we okay it and say, hey, yeah, let's do this. But that's one of those things that just to be aware of on these things as well. Like in years past, we had covered parking, and one year we did it at the district office, and the next year we did it at Logan High. So we try to, so it's not all one big cost at once, but to try to spread it out, which Don and Jeff have been great about that. So it's not, and that they're able to, Don knows exactly how much his in-house crew could do, and that way he's not trying to just overburden them and likes to spread it out. So it's, you know, I think it's been really great to work on those and figure out a plan. So, but I've been happy with the results of this, and I think there's still things down the road we're talking about looking into and working on to better our schools and safety for the students that attend here. So it's been great.
Thank you, Cole. We also have in the justification column, just so you're aware, anything that we don't approve, we list a justification so those principals can understand why. And so typically it's either not needed, sometimes it's a school budget that we feel like that it's a request, but it should come out of their school capital budget, because each of the schools do receive a capital budget. And then sometimes it's a work order that instead of going through this process, they just need to do a work order through the maintenance department. And there's one there that's actually 2, and typically we fund anything that's a 2. That we didn't fund, that was from the superintendent, requested light deflectors in Hillcrest parking lot and perimeter parking lights, and that one is just, we just need more information on that before we determine whether that's needed or not. But those are typically the reasons. You'll see there's one that it was out of last year's budget, and so they just need to get that ordered and put in. We've already budgeted the money from last year. So those are the reasons that they're not approved.
Jeff, if I can make a comment.
Sure.
Just want to ditto the great job that Don does for us in the school district. But this method that you put together for us and used over the last several years has been awesome to help us understand priorities, things that we want to watch out for, et cetera. 2 comments. Number one, I think we have a little bit of a question about how we're going to adjust the lights that are questionable to our neighbors. And are these going to move into the black range, red, or we?
Actually, the one for Hillcrest has been moved into the black.
Okay.
After we had the initial meeting on this, we reached out to the manufacturer and got some more information, and for minimal cost, we can put some shields on them.
Good.
And for here at Logan High, I think we've got an economical solution here too.
Okay, that's great. And then I assume where it has name change information, that's referring to the rec center. Is that
Both
correct?
Grizzly Fieldhouse and the rec center.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did mention before that the Grizzly Fieldhouse was forthcoming there. Just
We
behind
had a
schedule.
contract with a sign company that was in the bid of the remodel of the building. The company's not able to perform. They're just so far behind that we ended up
Reinitiating. that a
canceling that
different way.
contract and going with somebody else.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for the clarification.
I would like to add one thing that Colt mentioned about sometimes things get deferred and moved up the list later on. Sometimes that's not a budget thing, but a timing thing, because these are not large-scale projects, but a lot of medium-scale projects, and it's just hard to spread crews through, too many projects throughout all the schools without causing a disruption during the school year.
That makes sense. Thank you for that. I just had 2 questions that I didn't know what these things were. Can I just ask what they are?
Sure.
What is a canal cooler? It's number 16 on your list,
Yeah,
but I
no,
was
good
like, I
question.
don't know what that
So
means.
when we built Ellis, the canal runs right through the property, and so we got the bright idea to utilize that canal water as a central cooling system. And it's a good idea in theory, but it hasn't worked yet. And And the reason being is that the canal water has too much solids in it, grass and leaves. And so every time we turned it on, it plugged up. And then we were at the mercy of the canal being shut off in the fall before we could try something different. So now we've brought everything above ground, so everything is serviceable all year long, and I think it's going to work this time.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, so the pump, we're putting in a pump that's basically like a 10 horsepower garbage disposal. It will pump up to 85% water, so 15% solids can go through it. It'll chop up a stick 1 inch in diameter and spit it through the filter. Filter will catch it and then backwashes itself. As soon as it sees a 10% reduction in water flow going through it, it'll go into a reverse process and blow all those solids back into the canal.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I think we're on the right track now. It's just been a long time because of the seasonal opportunities to work on it.
That's so cool. Thank
We
you.
work on it in the fall and can't test it till the spring, and if it fails, we gotta wait till fall again before we try something different.
Well, hopefully it goes well this time. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Number 51, I don't even remember what it was, but I had no idea what it is. Rental security improvement in the 200s hall in Mount Logan Middle School. What is that?
Basically, it's just accordion gates that they can lock up and isolate parts of the school during gym usage, rentals. So when they've got outside patrons renting the gym, they can isolate the rest of the classroom wings.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I just had,
The butterfly park at Ellis? Oh, it just got bulldozed. But we have a new one at Mount Logan Middle School now. Yeah.
I had a question on, when you have some of the ones that have a bigger difference between the location and your rating, so like number 60 where you have a 2 and a 4 on a chain linking around the fence, and then there's another one that was like the security ladder, that was a 1 and a 3.
Number 60 is a good example. There's some backstory there. When Principal Ald was here, he wanted to have chain link fencing around all the athletic fields and track. So we put it in. Principal Guyman came and said he would like it more welcoming, more inviting, so we tore it all out and put in the 2-rail fence. Now Principal Mathers is here, so I guess it just depends on the flavor of the month.
Yeah.
So I think that comes down to a board decision. What do we want the athletic complex to look like? Not so much on Principal Mather's opinion or mine.
Yeah. Well, my question is, you say it says not needed, but I'm guessing you give them more information. So like on 30 where it says the secure rooftop ladders, for example, you just don't say, that's not needed. You probably communicate back with the person who presented the idea, and then you talk to them a little bit about why you have
Actually
rated.
on that one, typically what we've done in instances like that is not had it on a capital request, but fabricated in-house, put it up ourselves.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. So I guess we need to talk about fencing as a board then, it sounds like.
Yes, we've got several fencing we need to talk about, actually.
All right, does that answer everyone's questions for this? These are great
Oh.
questions. Thank you for your feedback and.
Not because I question what's on here, but I'm curious, what have we been using? We have 2 electric kilns in Nev's room. What is he using
We
now?
have 2 electric kilns and 1 gas kiln, and the gas kiln's unreliable and limited on space, and he can't get all of their work fired in the electric kilns.
Oh, okay.
So he would like to remove the gas kiln to make
put in
room
2
for
more
2 more
electric.
electric.
Oh, that makes a ton of sense. Okay, thanks. I was like, tell me he has kilns already.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he does too much stuff. Okay, I feel better.
All right, I think we've asked all of our questions. You guys have done a great job on this. Thank you for all your work, and Cole, thank you for your input as well and your time with this. Cool. Anything else, Jeff?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Don for his years of service. As you guys know, that Don is retiring this year. So his last day will be June 30th, and he's done a great job for us for many years. How many years? 21.
21.
That's what I was thinking. 21 years. He's worked for the Logan City School District, and so.
You guys some retirement pack?
Yeah. We worked together. We're so close that we decided to do it the same year.
Yep.
And
We decided if one wasn't going to be here, the other couldn't be.
Yeah, no, it just happened that, but yeah, he's got a lot of fun plans in his retirement and things that he's going to do. But he's done a great work and a great service here, and so I just wanted to recognize that. I've appreciated working with Don for the 12 years that I've been here, and just done a stellar job for us and gets things done. I appreciate how much money he saves us with his crew, that he's able to look at things and be able to get things taken care of and done. His estimates have been off a little bit with the inflation thing the last year, so he hasn't caught up quite up to the
since COVID,
inflation.
really.
So,
Yeah.
but he just, he's done a great job, and I appreciate the fact too, as we've built buildings, it's always good to have someone in his position that's willing to stand their ground as the owner of the building, because oftentimes architects, contractors will say, we think we can cut corners here, and Don is, he's really good to stand up and just really, get forceful if he has to say, no, that this is what we need done. This was what we contracted for, and this is how it's going to be done, and this is what needs to be done. And so I really appreciate that about him. He really has done a great job for us and saved us, I don't know how many millions of dollars over the years with what he's been able to do instead of, contracting things out.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
I quickly learned what an incredible and integral asset you have been, and how much we rely on you. And yes, thank you for everything that you've done for the school district.
It's been a pleasure.
We need to vote. Okay.
That's all I'm waiting for.
Who would like to make a motion?
I'd like to make the motion to move to approve the capital request list for school year 2027 as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Cole Checketts, seconded by Frank Stewart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now you can sit down.
Thank you. Thanks for the kind words, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right, on to our policy proposals, presented by Frank Schofield.
No, so you just have the three policies here that are just here for the board's initial review, so we can move them to a second reading. The DHB reduction in force just outlines the procedures to be used when enacting reduction in force. This is brought back from the previous presentation to the board, and we've added the language clarifying that the reduction in force is the sole purview of the board, but the responsibility is delegated to the superintendent to bring recommendations to the board, but the board is the body that determines whether a reduction in force will take place. So based on feedback from the board in the previous reading, that was added. FBBA dual enrollment just is to align better, in order to better align with the policies drafted by USBA, we rescinded the old policy. Similar to that previous policy though, FBBA dual enrollment outlines the rules and expectations of students who are simultaneously enrolled in both private homeschool and a district school, and talks about their individual rights to participate in athletics and activities, etc. So for the board's information, the community who may not know, students who attend other schools can dual enroll with us in order to participate in activities. We have this with, for example, we have a number of students from Fast Forward Charter School who will dual enroll at Logan High so they can participate in the orchestra program. We have students who are homeschooled who will still participate in athletics at Logan High School. So the policy just outlines what the process is and the guidelines for allowing that is, or what they are. And then our existing policy, FHC, notification received from juvenile courts, this provides some clarification specifically when, if you have a student who is returning to school and it's a, I believe the language of the policy is, it's a forcible something, let me pull it up. Thank you, forcible felony. That if you do have a situation with a student who has committed a forcible felony, the district may elect not to reintegrate the student. However, if we choose to not reintegrate the student into the school, we have to provide alternative education options for them. So this just means if you have a student who has committed a forcible felony, it removes the prior requirement that was in the law that we find a way for the student to attend school. There are some cases where we would want to say, no, the crime you've committed is such that we don't feel that the school is the right setting for you, but we will provide alternative approaches for you to still be educated, get a diploma, etc. So those are the three policies that are just brought to the board for an additional reading to be hopefully voted on in our next meeting.
Happy to make a motion on this, but I have a question first. Okay. How do we define the district in terms of who may elect to or not to reintegrate the student? So it seems like a big decision in some regards. So I'm just curious about how that is defined. Is that a superintendent decision, or is that a board decision, or some other organization within the district?
Everything else in the policy, that's a great question. I don't believe we explicitly state that. The other elements of the policy assign decision-making to the superintendent or the superintendent's designee up in the first paragraph. Upon receipt, dissemination of information, but that paragraph under the student reintegration plan it's the school's decision. So it says, however, if the school decides not to reintegrate the student, the district must provide alternative education options for the student. This does not state it. In practice, that would be generally a discussion between the school and Melissa Richardson through our student services, because that's the department that oversees student disciplinary hearings and behavior support of that kind. So generally, I mean, in practice, that's what we would do, but it might be helpful to add that language just so there's no question about it.
Yeah, I think I don't think it needs, obviously it's not something you do in an open board meeting, but I think at least if there's a board representative there in that kind of decision, I mean, it's not a very common thing, but I just wonder if we can have some sort of, I mean, that seems like something we should have, if not a part of that decision, at least there's maybe some sort of recourse that the student and the student's family can go to that the board can get involved if something was to happen. So that would be my only thought on that. I don't know what others' opinions are, but I just think that could be a pretty big decision that it seems like that we would want to have at least some. There's at least some recourse that we could be a part of as a board.
I have a much smaller issue with this one, and that is just verbiage. The very first line where it defines serious offense, it does not use forcible, it uses violent, but everywhere else in the policy it uses forcible. We should probably clean that up and have the same language throughout, I would think.
policy development and updating and the board. Do we want to make a motion to move to a second reading then?
I'll make that motion. I move to advance the policies DHB, reduction of force, FBBA, dual enrollment, and FHC, notification received from juvenile courts, to a second reading.
All right, motion made by Russell Fisher. I will second. Seconded by Katie Chapman. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And then we'll see those updates in our second reading. Okay. Okay, are there any board or committee reports that anyone wants to share? I can start with our board, minus Russell. We missed Russell. Just attended the National School Board Association conference in San Antonio, Texas, and we always attend these conferences and leave with renewed ideas and great conversation between our board members and business administrator and superintendent, who were there also. I said our board went, but they were there also. We really make good use of our time there and are excited to workshop some of the ideas that we heard, think about how to apply some of these ideas to the vision that we have going and the great programs that we have going, to maybe help streamline them a little bit, or support a group of students in a different way, or teachers in a different way, or engage with community members. I mean, there are all sorts of sessions that we attended, and really valuable things that we've been hearing, and just getting different perspectives from other educators and board members and administration across the country is refreshing and exciting. So I think we're all looking forward to kind of hashing out some of our ideas that we came back with and working on those in our summer session, our summer workshop that we do. And then having Frank bring all of those ideas to everybody else.
I just wanted to give an update that as the new JLC representative for our districts here in northern Utah, that I'll be participating in the first meeting on the 17th, on a Zoom meeting this week, and then headed to St. George for 3 days next week to go down and meet with the group and find out what it is I signed up for.
It'll be great.
I did want to add to the National School Board Association meeting. The thing that blows me away at that conference is, and what makes it so awesome, is you have individuals throughout the United States and Canada and U.S. territories that are there. You have individuals of all political parties and ideas. You have individuals of all races, different nationalities, different identities, all these things, and they all come together for the purpose of educating our children. And it's just amazing to collaborate with one another, to have work together, and that's what's wonderful about it. You don't see the divisions there. It's just a group of people with a bunch of ideas trying to work together to better our education of our children here. And it's wonderful to be part of that group and bring all those together and to better our country and our area around us. So I just love that part of being there and meeting all kinds of people. So I enjoyed it, and it was great to hear all the speakers and ideas, and I think it'll be great to add to our district.
The other thing that I'll add about the national conference, the thing that I think is so valuable to me is when someone from another place helps me recognize the box that I'm in, that I didn't know I was in, when I'm thinking about how to address something, that I am often able to see with new perspective because of what someone else has done and recognize potential solutions that I'd never even dreamt up before. And it's so amazing to see what you didn't see. And I love that. The other thing that I wanted to share was going to the Aggie Up meeting that was right before we went on this trip. And I don't want it to get lost because of all the fabulous things that we learned in San Antonio. But the Aggie Up kind of a kickoff event was so powerful. I was so amazed. I knew what Aggie Up was in name and concept, but being there and seeing the kids and seeing the families that are impacted, and the possibilities that opens, someone referenced it as a door to doors, that it opens a door to many, many doors. And I loved that idea, and seeing all of these kids that are that are thinking about going to college, but this is maybe a scarier thing for them than for kids whose parents graduated college and whose grandparents graduated college and whose siblings all graduated. It's so different if you're the first. And to see them have so many people that are all cheering them on and there to be their supporters, and to arrange new supporters that they wouldn't have otherwise, I don't know. It was very inspiring and very empowering. Hopefully the kids felt that empowerment in what happened, but it made me very excited for them. By the way, our choir sounded amazing at festival right before I got here, just so you know.
Thank you for your reflection on that. Also, thank you for the time you all took to away from work and family to go down there to attend this conference. We all felt how valuable it was, but thank you for taking that time. I also wanted to report that I went to the Wilson Nova graduation this afternoon, and those little fifth graders were so excited to be there, and Letty just does such an amazing job with them, and they admire her, and I think it's a very good, it's a great person to have doing a great thing in the schools. And so if you guys have a chance, Adams is tomorrow and Bridgers is the next day. So if anyone has a chance to go, they would appreciate having you there, and it's wonderful to see. Which kind of brings us to our board events calendar and upcoming events. So those are a couple of the upcoming events. Bridgers STEAM Fair is also on Thursday. And then the rest of the month is a little bit quiet until we hit May, and then look out. So plenty of sports stuff, plenty of awards stuff, plenty of concerts, end of year events. So if you can take a look and put your name in, if you can attend any of those, and we'll just make sure that we've got at least one, but hopefully a couple to a few of each of us attending those events and celebrating. We aren't the ones that worked so hard to get there, but witnessing the students and families celebrating, and school, faculty, staff, admin celebrating is reward for us, for all the meetings that we sit through. Yes, anything else, Katie?
Just a curiosity, we've kind of separated the high school calendar and the board, I forgot, need microphones. We've kind of separated the board calendar and the high school calendar. How much of the high school events do we want to try to have one of us try and hit, have any acknowledgement of those things? Because it has been helpful to me to have it be on like a list and we can throw our names on there and see if someone else is going or not going and so on. I'm just wondering if it would be helpful with I'm not saying I want you to have to put every high school event on there, but are there things from the high school calendar that we should be pulling in there? Maybe not everything, but some things. I don't know. It was just a curiosity that crossed my mind.
What kind of things are you thinking of?
Well, so like I opened the high school calendar and, let's see, where's today? There's a lot of calendar, which is why I don't think Rachel should bring the whole calendar in on there.
We have a
But,
separate athletic
like,
calendar
for us,
on our agenda.
maybe, I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah. Yeah, to like say, oh, I'm coming to this, so that we can kind of see that we're, as a board, that we're kind of touching in with a lot of those high school groups, and maybe recognize, oh, nobody's really tapped in with the swim team, maybe I'll go to one of those. That kind of thing. I don't know, but I do not want Rachel to have to recreate this calendar in our calendar, but I'm just wondering if that would be useful to us in some way and what that would look like that would be useful. I don't know. If Rachel, you have a brilliant idea, I'm open.
I try to get to every athletic event I can that's on, so you can rest assured that somebody will be. I was there for the soccer game this afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Who'd we play?
I didn't see anybody else there, by the way.
No, as a
But I'm just saying, I'll be there. I don't know, we were playing Morgan, we were down 1-0 when I left.
Ooh,
But it's region time.
wow. Okay.
We can think about.
We can just think about it.
Yeah, we can think about it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, well, if we don't have any other questions, comments, concerns, reports, then we will stand adjourned at 6:22 p.m. Thank you, everybody.